case. Okay, never mind. We got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Surprise!
Surprise! We are hanging out in my house today.
Yep, we are.
We're having some tea.
So funny. It's our favorite tea.
Yeah.
That we didn't know that was our favorite. Now it's our favorite.
We have a lot of common favorites, though.
Quite a few. And you're going to find out a whole bunch more about that today.
Okay.
Right?
I'm ready.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So, what do we want to talk about today, Sandy?
We want to talk about knitting.
Yep. We want to talk about finished objects and works in progress. And then we want to talk about some favorite things. We're going to talk about that, right?
Definitely.
And this is going to be kind of a special episode because we're going to have this in two parts. So if you're seeing part one here, you're seeing this on the Sticks Twine channel, which has been... Hi, my name's Eric, and it's been 9 months since my last podcast. Yes.
And you've been missed.
I know, and I missed
been
everybody.
busy.
I've been really busy. So maybe let's start with that.
Yeah.
So where did Eric go? Well, where didn't I go?
Tell us about where you were, Eric.
So, first of all, we sold our house, our condo, last year, which if anyone follows me on Instagram, and we'll leave our Instagram handles down here, we sold our house. We bought a new house. But the new house needed a massive renovation, so we moved to a place that is teensy-tiny. So Sandy's so fortunate to have this beautiful room in her home, which basically is the size of my entire condo that I'm living in at the moment. And it is not conducive to content creation at all. So yeah, so I haven't been able to do that. There's been also some other, personal stuff's going on, stuff with the family. Like, there's just been a lot. We've been traveling quite a bit. There's been a lot happening. And, so combination, right? Crappy environment for the time being. We've got about another 6 weeks to go before we move again, finally. But that one will be so much better. It's going to be 1,000 times better. It'd be really nice. So, so this is sort of our first time recording together, and Sandy invited me, for all of my viewers, Sandy invited me to come and said, hey, if you don't have a place to record at yours, why don't you come to my house and record, and we'll do that. So we've done that. So we spent the morning hanging out and had a great lunch, planning what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how we're going to stop laughing all the way through it, because there's a lot of that.
We had to stop ourselves from chatting so that we could actually podcast.
Exactly. So we could actually share it with you guys, because that's obviously what we are here to do. So so it's been a super, super busy 9 months, but it's good. I went to Rhinebeck this year. You went to Rhinebeck this year. I did. You did a whole Rhinebeck recap, I think, right? You talked about your house. And,
I did.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
No. You were busy.
I was in a amazing, amazing house with some amazing, amazing people, and it was so much fun. We dragged Sebastian down for the first time, which was great. And we're going back. Our house is already booked, so we're going back. Still trying to convince her to come with. We'll see. But I'm not going to any other shows this year because we're in the middle of this renovation, and anyone who's done it knows it sucks the life out of you, and it sucks the money out of you, more importantly. So it's been a challenging year, but productive.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good when you get into your new place.
I hope so. Well, you'll be one of the first people, I think, to actually see it. So we've been playing a little coy on Instagram. If you've been, sort of wondering what's been happening in the world of Eric, it's been all happening on Instagram. So you can feel free to go back and scroll through it if you want to. It's not that interesting. But we're keeping a lot of the place sort of under wraps. We're not talking about it too much yet, not showing too many pictures, because the wow effect of the before and after, trust me, will be worth it. So anyway, that's where I've been. But it doesn't mean I haven't been knitting, Sandy.
I know. I see that.
I have some finished objects and stuff to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Why don't you catch us up first on how you've been doing since your last one? Because your Vlogmas was epic. I loved your Vlogmas.
Thank you. I was busy with Vlogmas, and I took a bit of a break in January. I haven't really done any podcasts. I think I did one vlog. I've missed it, but I've just been kind of catching up. All the New Year's stuff that everyone has been doing. I have been trying to simplify and clean up. and trying to get back into knitting because I had a little bit of a knitter's block for a few weeks, but
Oh,
I think
I hate
I'm
that.
back.
Good.
I think I'm back.
Good.
And I have a few things that I'm excited about to get started for the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been here. I've just been home and kind of cooped up because it's been kind of gross outside this January, but it's
Yeah.
February today.
It is. It's February 1st.
It's February 1st, so I'm very excited. I feel like February is going to be...
You know what? I'm agreeing with you on that entirely. February 8th, it's a short month.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you can do anything for 4 weeks. You can get through this. But it's also Groundhog Day tomorrow. So there's that. So we'll find out what more winter. If anybody doesn't know what that means, you obviously don't live in the Northeast. Because you need to know from, the magical creature called a groundhog if you're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or not.
Yeah.
So we find that out. My anniversary is on Sunday. Then there's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
I have James and Glenn have birthdays
See?
in the next couple weeks, so it's going to be fun.
There's lots to look forward to.
Yeah.
And we're going to share a lot of what we've been up to. That's next.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to talk about finished objects first?
Sure.
Okay.
So
You start, my friend.
I only have one,
Okay.
and I'm really excited about it because it's a beautiful yarn that was
Yes, it
gifted
is.
to me. And it is my Finn sock. It's the Finn colorway from Coloring Book Yarns. And I made this for James because we are really big Adventure Time fans.
Do you know I've never seen an episode?
Oh, you
Not
need to.
once,
You
okay.
need to. It's a cartoon that you'll enjoy. Like an adult would enjoy, It's not just for kids.
Love it. Okay, good.
So it's really good. I actually just saw that there is a cruise ship, a Cartoon
I
Network
saw that, yes.
cruise ship that it looks like Jake.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
painted like one of the characters, and it looks like so much fun.
I know, but I don't know if I could do a whole... Oh, no.
It'd
You have kids. You'd be fine. I don't have kids. I don't think I'd be
It
okay.
could be crazy.
I think I'd be jumping ship, I think. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. But I do want to watch Adventure Time. I think
Yeah, you should watch it. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah. You like it?
Love it.
Okay.
So that's it. I
love it. It's
only
great color.
finished a pair of socks, and I'm excited about moving on to some new stuff.
Which is good. And we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what did you finish? Because it's been quite a while.
It's been quite a while since I've shared. But again, if you've been seeing me on Instagram, you've been seeing a lot of this stuff. I keep hitting the table. I'm going to move my legs. There we go. I've got a few, and I don't think I ever showed this one. But first I will show off. This is the Halo Shawl by Jared Flood, which came in his Woolens book. And I did the large size. I'm going to cover both of us here for
wow.
a sec. Look how big this thing is. Okay, Sandy, poke around the side. I don't want to cover your face too long. There we go. The color gets a bit weird in the frame, but trust me, it's the Hayloft colorway from Brooklyn Tweed in Shelter. And I picked this up at the Knitter's Frolic last year, the yarn, because Leslie, who, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of her shop.
Rosehaven.
Rosehaven, thank you. Brought me this colorway, and how could I say no? So, yeah, I worked on this. It's funny, this was the first pie shawl that I finished. And the funny thing is, when it's on the needles, it doesn't look that big. Like, it's like, oh, it's a lot of stitches near the end. It's a
Yeah.
lot of knitting.
So where do you start this one?
You actually start in the middle, and you start with, they call it like a pinhole cast on. So you cast on like 8 stitches, and then it grows out, and there's a whole ratio to it. Elizabeth Zimmerman started the whole pie shawl thing, where it's a mathematical calculation that for every time you increase to a certain point, you double the number of stitches, and then you just keep going. So it starts out really small. You move really quickly through up to about the second repeat, and then all of a sudden you're at like 250 stitches, and then bam, you're at 500 stitches, and you're like, holy moly, it takes, and then it takes a while to get through. But it's really easy. If anyone has not done a pie shawl and wants to give one a go, honestly, it's super easy. The only advice I would have is the pinhole cast on. If you're not a DPN user, like I'm not, I find it really hard to keep the stitches together and keep them from twisting and stuff. So magic loop it. You can magic loop it really, really easily. And then once it gets to sort of a 16-inch needle size, like I would use a much larger one, but then you can always magic loop for quite a bit on it.
It's beautiful.
So it has been blocked. It's been a while. It's been sitting on my couch. I use it. It's big enough that you can use it like as a lap blanket, which is what I use it for all the time. I just use it on my lap. Keeps me warm when I'm knitting in my horrible rental condo. So there's that one.
I love it.
And
So can I just say though,
yeah.
how long did this take you from start to finish?
I want to say it didn't take me that long, to be honest. It took me maybe 4 weeks.
Oh.
And I took I was doing socks in between and I did a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's this pattern because it's pretty easy. Once you get past the sort of eyelet lace section, you've got like 4 rounds that it's just knit straight through where you never have to do anything. And then you've got about 4 rounds of, yarn overs, knit 2 togethers, yarn overs, SSKs. Like it's really easy stuff to remember. The pattern's really intuitive. And it's good TV knitting because when you're into those other 4 rounds where you're not doing anything, you're just knitting and you can get a lot of it done. So yeah, it's fun. I thought it was mindless knitting in a lot of ways, but it was good. It kept me on my toes. The edging is actually way more interesting, which you can probably catch some of that. It's a little more interesting in that it's got sort of this scalloped, lacy sort of pattern, but it's not super feminine or anything. It's just really nice. So I love it. I love it on my couch. It goes with all my gray furniture.
Yeah, I love the color.
Yeah. So there's that. That's one.
Okay.
I have all big finished objects, apparently. The other one I got this at Kitchener Waterloo. It was a kit for the building blocks shawl. Now, I will warn everybody, this will not fit in one frame. This is 11 feet long. But I can show you the centerpiece of it anyway, because that's the one. Everyone's seen what this looks like, nice and big. But that is there. Oh, that's much easier. If I pull it behind you, now we can actually see more.
Yeah, I can probably.
No, this is good. I think we're good. There we go. So there's a lot there.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive. Once you sort of get through it, it's actually pretty straightforward as a pattern. It's not super complex. There's a lot of knitting on it because it just keeps going and going and going. But it wraps up really, really, really softly because this is all Madeline Tosh, Mad Tosh Light. I think we're showing the back. Oh, how embarrassing. Well, there you go. Hey, you can show it. It's omnidirectional. That was actually the back. So, piece of advice for this one. Look at what everybody else has done for colors because your colors, every other row, there's very few blocks that are in one singular color. Everything else is either a blend or, these garter ridges here are 2 different colors. Your brioche is 2 different colors. There's all kinds of different stuff going on. My advice is you've got a lot of ends to weave in. Every time you increase another row means at least another 4 ends, sometimes up to 8. So what I do is by the time I finish the one section, I finish the next section, I go back and weave in the ends for the first one so that it's done. Weave as you go. Weave as you go, trust me. And then what I do is I leave just like after I've woven them in, I leave about an inch still of yarn, and then after it's blocked, then I trim off the final line because then you know sort of how much you have left over. So it is really, really nice. It's really soft. It's comfortable. I wear it all the time.
I think it looks great on. I think you should wrap it around.
So the way that I wear it, I hold it under my chin, and I go once round this way, and I go once round this way, and then everything can go underneath. Yeah. And it does go quite long still, but it's quite loose and fluffy. Yeah. It's not the kind of thing that you want to wear like wrapped around and around and around because it'll look like a neck brace, and that's not what you want. So, but I quite like it. What do you think? Too.
I love it.
And it's really nice. It's...
Your colors, I think, really make it.
Now, I will admit, freely and fully, that I did not pick these colors. This was a kit from... we'll put the link down below somewhere. I don't even know if it's still available. It was done for a show. But I saw the sample in this, and I just thought, that's it. I had no interest in making it previously until I saw these colors. And I went, I've got to have
stunning.
That. Thank you.
Love it.
You'll notice in my next 2 finished objects a theme of color. Because we're talking all about the grays today, apparently. So, this one, I finally got around to doing Sebastian's sweater. Oh gosh, you'd think I would have unfolded it all before I showed up, right? So, this is the Chesterfield Pullover. I'm going to fold the neck down so you can sort of see what that looks like. Maybe I can get you to help me pull out the sleeve there. This is the Chesterfield Pullover by Julie Hoover for Brooklyn Tweed. This was in BT Men 2, their second men's collection. This is Brooklyn Tweed Loft Held Double, which is what gives you the marled color all the way through, because it'd be too heavy, I think, if it was all just solid colors. I've seen examples of people who have done it in all one color, but I really liked the color blocking effect. The instructions for the color blocking are in the pattern. it tells you how to and when exactly how many rows to do, that sort of stuff. It tells you also because Sebastian's quite tall. He's 6'1", but he's really all from waist up. So I was really concerned about making sure that the arms were long enough, which you can see they're really long arms. They're actually a little too long. It grew a little more
When you
in
blocked.
blocking, but that's okay. You know what? He's going to wear it and he's going to like it.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And then I made the body actually quite a bit longer as well to accommodate, but it tells you where to do those increases, like
Yeah.
where, so that all the color blocking stays in line. And then it's got this great double fold over sort of roll neck. What's kind of cool about this is the way that you do the roll neck, you actually use 3 different needle sizes, which sounds weird. You do like one needle size and then you go really big for 1 or 2 rows, and then you go down a little bit no, you go up even more? No, sort of like a middle range. I forget how it goes. But what it does is it gives a natural fold line at the top. And then it doesn't let it sort of flares out at the bottom. So instead of being really constricting around the neck, it gives you the ability to have the double fold without a problem.
Yeah.
So he's worn it a couple of times. It has been blocked, but it's actually quite heavy.
It is heavy. It's really
Right.
nice. Is it warm?
It's very, very warm. I wasn't sure this whole like knitting with 2 strands, how TV knitting friendly that was going to be. And I'm not going to lie, there were a couple places where if you miss the second sort of strand in the loop, where it's really obvious, it sort of pops off. So I'm like, oh crap. But you know what I did? I didn't just sewed it down.
Yeah.
When I was before I blocked it, I just went and sewed it all down. So, you know what? I totally made it work. But other than that, so that's my second last finished object to show. Now this one, I will say, this one did not take very long. I'm not gonna lie. I cast this on Christmas Eve, and I think I had it done in about 9 days total. Now, because the math doesn't work for anybody who's paid attention on my Instagram, because we went away. We left Christmas night and went to our timeshare in Florida, and then we were gone till the 4th of January. So we were gone for a big chunk of that time, but in total knitting time, and I did not take this with me, it was too big. But I think that, it took me about 9 days. Knit like the wind, knit like the wind.
That's fast.
You know what I did? What did I watch? I watched a TV series while I was knitting on this. I think it was Happy Valley on Instagram. So good. Or not Instagram. Happy Valley on Instagram.
Netflix?
Netflix. I haven't done this in a while. You'll forgive me, I know. And I have one more.
Okay.
Just one more. And I just cast it off this morning before I came here. And I have to show because it's in my By The Lakeside bag that Sandy was so kind to make sure that I got one in her last update. If you haven't had one, where have you been? They're awesome. You don't get you can talk about your shop and all that stuff as much as you want, but I will tell you, these are second to none.
Thank you.
Second to none bags. I love them. They're so good. Your background shows through in every stitch, which if you're a viewer of Sandy's, and if you're on my channel and you haven't seen Sandy's stuff before, you really have to hop over and do that. So the other one.
Goodness.
So I posted on my Instagram as well, my Make 9 for 2018.
Yes.
Did you do Make 9?
I did.
You did Make 9. Yeah, we
did.
did, right? And so the Chesterfield was one of them. So the sweater was like, yeah, I want to get that. So that's one done off my Make 9. This next project is also a Make 9 project that I just cast off. And I'm going to show the back first because it's super exciting. Yay!
Big square.
It's a big square of fabric. This is Sweatshirt by Brooklyn Tweed in Shelter. And it doesn't really show anything exciting there, but when you look at the front, penguins!
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
This is the Winslow Pillow by Julie Hoover for Brooklyn Tweed Kids. This came out quite a while ago, and I've always wanted to make it. I loved it. And I thought for my new house in the guest room to be on my couch there, because we're going to have a sofa bed couch thing, this would be perfect. Because all the colors in my house are going to be basically black, white, and gray. With accent colors.
This gray is stunning.
I want a sweater out of this so
With this
badly.
flecks of black.
Yeah, it's so nice, right? So it's interesting. The top panel actually is all done in moss stitch. But what I've never done before is I've never done a buttonhole. So I had to, the instructions are really good. Brooklyn Tweed Patterns give you instructions for everything and you learn all kinds of great techniques. So this is a 1-row buttonhole I've never done before.
I've
And you
never
do
done
4 of them. And I'm not giving away a secret because it's a standard thing. Basically what you do is you sort of wrap a stitch, then you cast off the number of stitch for the buttonholes, but you don't knit them. You just sort of you slip them over and just get rid of them. Then you flip the work, and then you do like either a cable cast on, or I think this was done doing a cable cast on. So you sort of knit between the stitches to put a new one on. It gives you a really nice firm buttonhole. So did that, but this is also my first time doing intarsia, which I've never done. I was kind of afraid to do intarsia. So I've done intarsia for the first time. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's where you don't carry floats across the back of it. You just twist the strands to keep a hole from forming. But I got lazy because down here where the feet are, you will see, I just did stranded color work.
Yeah.
Because the feet themselves, for every time you change color, you would need another bobbin of yarn. So you'd have to like change yarn constantly for like 1 or 2 stitches. Not worth it.
No.
I just did stranded color work on it. Then,
and there's not going to be a lot of wear. It's not like it's a sweater and
it's a pillow.
It's going
exactly.
To be, yeah.
Exactly. So the bottom tips of the wings, I just did stranded until there was enough stitches to make it worthwhile. And I did the same thing where the nose and the tip of the color down the crown comes down. I did the same thing. Some of the floats are a little bit longer along the top because there's not that many stitches there. So I just trapped it where I needed to, just to float it across, just to finish. And that was it. And you know what? It's not blocked yet, which is why it looks all weird and, crinkly and stuff.
Look weird.
But it'll block out completely flat and it will be perfect. Now I did do duplicate stitch for the eyes. I did not do that in color work. I just went over and just stitched on top because I thought it would be a lot easier. And actually, it looks perfect.
It looks perfect.
Technique, I was going to say, so Technique Thursday, because it's Thursday as we're recording. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. Technique Thursday. So I did a buttonhole, I did intarsia, I did color work, stranded color work. I've done that before. I've done duplicate stitch. So I think I checked a lot of boxes on this one, right?
I think you did.
So the next step for this is I'm going to block them first. I'm going to block them with wire so they're really nice and straight edges. And then you sew up the edges with the slip stitch selvage on the outside. So it's really cool. So you get this nice little detail, like almost like piping around the outside. And I just need to buy a pillow form. And that'll be that. I have a nice new pillow.
You get to go to IKEA. Get a pillow form.
You know how much I've been at IKEA lately. Love me some. Anyone who's done renovations knows IKEA is your best friend. Especially if you're not independently wealthy, which I am not. So.
No.
So that's all my whips.
Love it.
Not too bad, huh?
Yeah.
It was a really busy January for knitting, I'd say, for me.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I did not do much this month, but that's okay. I have a couple of whips. So my first one is my 2nd Avenue shawl in my awesome fringe field bag, which, I'm loving my pins, but I'm feeling like they're getting really crowded.
Can I also say, I actually had to start taking them off one, because what would happen is it would start to fold in on itself because of just the weight of all the pins.
So I think I'm going to do that because I have 2 other fringe field bags. And
we have matching ones.
I think I'm going to spread them out.
Yeah, I did that too.
But here is my 2nd Avenue shawl.
Ooh.
Back there.
Those are great colors.
In Plucky.
Ooh,
Primo.
That feels really
Plucky,
nice.
is that right? Primo?
It feels like...
Yes, it's the cashmere.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely
I love
cashmere.
it. This is my
so nice.
TV knitting or my couch knitting. I kind of took a break, so I am just starting to get back into it, but I love it. I really want to wear this, so
I think you should.
I'm trying to get moving.
You know what? The color kind of matches what you're wearing today.
Oh, it does. I love that color.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think that one's called Tiny Bubbles.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the striping here,
and
too.
I think the only color that I haven't used yet is the gray.
Oh, there's gray in it,
so
too.
there's more navy.
What's the shape of this one? I'm not familiar with this pattern.
It is...
Is it like a... Oh, it's like a stole.
Yeah.
It's a stole. Okay,
So
okay.
there it is.
I love it. Okay,
I love
that's
it
cool.
too. It's really classic.
No, I love that.
There's some rugby stripes later. So
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the 3-color cashmere
yes,
cowl
it
that
has that
Hoagie
look.
did, because that's so wearable.
Yeah.
Like that's you can make it yours entirely, pick your colors, but it's so wearable. You could you could wear that anywhere with anything.
And it's so soft.
I know. I don't want to give it back. Here, I'll take it from me. Take it from me.
So I'm enjoying this, but I took a little bit of a break because it was Christmas and.
Yeah, you had a busy Christmas.
A little bit.
And you have boys.
A little, yeah. So
there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cast on something new. I think the same night that you cast on your pillow.
Yeah. So
Was it the pillow?
Yes, because both Sandy and I were talking. We were texting each other. It's like, I really want to cast on something. And I said, well, if you do, I will.
Yeah.
And so we did. And then I cast on the pillow, wound up like all that yarn, and then you cast this on.
I did. And I had purchased. Okay, so I saw this pattern knit up in a sample at the Primrose booth at Rhinebeck. And I saw
Kelsey, you did good work.
It was beautiful. I saw it and I almost picked up something there, but it was a little bit crowded and I wanted to think about it. So these are the 2 yarns that I ended up coming home and ordering that week.
Did you?
I did. So the pattern
That's
I'm
awesome.
doing, I don't even think I have a picture of it,
Check this off.
is the Petiki cowl by Aroha Knits. And here it is.
I love that.
I love it
That is
too.
so pretty.
I'm really enjoying this. Even though it takes a little bit more concentration just to do the chart, I'm really enjoying it. And I think seeing the pattern come out is making me knit more.
So
it's driving me.
That's what happened with the pillow.
Yeah.
Because, it's so addictive. I did that front of that pillow in, I think, 4 days. Because I couldn't help myself. It's potato chippy.
You can't
when they say
stop.
there's potato chippy knitting, that's potato chippy knitting.
Yeah.
Right. You just can't stop at one.
Yeah. So at night, even if I'm tired, which is usually when I'm like, no, I can't knit, I just want to get a couple rows done.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. And I'm loving how the different colors are coming through.
Yeah, they look great.
The little pops of green.
Yeah.
I love it.
That little Kelly green. Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't even realize, but it's there, but it's really standing out. So
Yeah, I love it.
I'm loving it too.
Good job.
Enjoying it. So
That would be really nice to have for like St. Patrick's Day with the green. If the green outfit, that'd be really.
And I don't really wear green, and I have never been a big fan of green, but this year
You can throw a little in there.
I'm really feeling the green.
I love it.
Like a Kelly green.
I love your bag.
I love this bag. So I make
That's a
bags,
cute bag.
and I have this weird obsession. I don't need any more bags, but sometimes I see a bag,
And
and I
have
have
one.
to have it.
Yeah.
So this is from the Fat Swirl,
Amy Bath.
and I love this bag. I think it's so vintage. It reminds me of like an old 50s or 60s dress.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Orla Keeley.
Yes, and I
It's
love
totally
Orla
Orla Keeley.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Did you ever see when she had all her collection at Target?
I have some of it.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I have some. Some of it's actually been used so much that I no longer have it. But yeah, I had a couple of mugs and some of the like enamelware for outside. Love it.
I gave my best friend a luggage tag, an Orla Keeley luggage tag that I got there once. Yeah. Love that stuff.
Love that style. So I'm
Well
loving
done,
this
Amy
bag. And
What else you got, girl?
I have a basket of socks that I have.
Okay, that's a new
A
hashtag.
whole
Basket o'
basket
socks.
o'
Never mind the
socks.
box of socks. You have a basket of socks.
So over Christmas, I wanted to start finishing pairs. So I decided to gather everything.
I want you to spill your tea.
I gathered
go.
all of my socks
Yep.
that were whips, and I put them in this beautiful, I don't know if it's called a bucket. I think it might be called a bucket, and it's from Jenna
It
Rose.
looks like a bucket.
Yeah, I think it's a bucket, and it's got
pretty.
these beautiful leather handles. And I collected a lot of socks from around the house. So I've got 1, 2,
A room is not complete in its
3.
decor until it has a sock in progress, right?
and 4. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
where I found my Finn sock. I pulled it out and I started with that for James.
Yeah.
I finished his sock. Then I decided this sock would be next because it's a shorty. And it's so beautiful.
Shorties.
So this is the one I'm working on right now, and it's in one of my bags.
Again,
and-
awesome bags.
Thank you. The yarn is from Maker's Haven, and it's got some sparkle in it, and it's very fall and wintry. So I just wanted to do a little shorty. And I picked up, this one had been started, so I just sort of continued. I put the heel in, and I'm kind of at the stage of doing heels on all of these. So I've got
Yeah.
some work to do.
We talked about that earlier today about heels and stuff.
Yeah. I always do a heel flap.
You always do a heel flap. I always do fish lips kiss, and so I'm bound and determined to help you figure out a fish lips kiss that works.
I think I should do it.
Because I don't know what you guys think, but I think they're so much faster than having to knit a whole heel flap, then pick up all the stitches, and then do all the decreases, and then finally you get back onto the foot. Where like fish lips kiss, 2 episodes of a TV show, and bam, it's done.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So my next one, I've already got the first sock, so I will have to put in the heel flap because we don't want two different.
You need to match.
So this is my next one, Scrumptious Pearl. I love
that.
this
That's
yarn.
Really pretty.
It's Come Sail Away, or Come Sail With Me.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I used to join. I was a member of a yacht club in Toronto, which I did. Go back to my past videos and you'll see there was a whole thing that I did on my yacht club. That would have been awesome for going to the yacht club.
Oh, I love them.
But we moved, so I'm not a member anymore.
So I think maybe the next one I'll try to do the Fish Lips
Kiss. Okay, so you heard it here. Sandy is going to do Fish Lips Kiss.
I might need some help.
I'll help you.
Okay.
I'll help you because I figured it out, but I had Mina, the knitting expat, to sort of answer questions over text, like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, put in a lifeline. And I didn't, I just ran with it.
I love lifelines.
I do too, but I just ran with it because it was so easy actually that it's like if somebody shows you, it's kind of like riding a bike. Yeah. Right? Like you may not be comfortable with it if you haven't done it a long time. You kind of have to go, how do I change gears? Right? But then it just comes back to you. It's really, really, it's a skill that I think everybody should have. Yeah. It is a paid pattern to get into figure out how to do it. I think I have it. I purchased it. I'm sure you do. And I think everybody has, so. But I think it was just one of those things where it's new and it's just easy to do what I know. Yep, I hear you. So I'm in for the Fish Lips Casio. Nice. Okay. So just a whole bunch of socks. You are a sock maniac. It's like, and I almost cast another one on yesterday. As you do. As you do. Yeah. I don't know if I have enough needles to cast on that. I purchased another needle. Oh. Well, I have lots of needles. So the story behind my needle situation right now is I love DPNs for socks. But I just recently started using Magic Loop and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. Now, why are you enjoying Magic Loop? I feel like it was faster. So I feel the same. I feel the same. And I didn't always feel that way. The first time I think I did it, I was like, oh, no, I like my DPNs. But I think because I'm doing it more often, I'm doing it in movies or, at night, I was dropping stitches in between the DPNs more. Oh, yeah. So I went to Magic Loop for these, but they were the worst. I think they were Addy sock rockets. Okay. And the cord was all janky and... Yeah, there's a secret with the cord. Well, do you know the secret with the cord? Is it the boiling water? Yes. It didn't work. What? It didn't work. So I tried in between the next, between the two. Yeah. I put the boiling water in the sink and put the needle in there and it didn't straighten it up. They're actually, you can see them hanging there. They're janky. They're all kinked up. They're all kinked up. So it was really a pain. Yeah. But I found that my new favorite needle is the Chai-Gu. Okay, so debate time. I've tried Chai-Gu's once for socks, but these are different than, oh my God, okay, so the cord is way different than I thought. So these are, I think, red lace. Okay. I think I might have to buy a pair of those. They're interchangeables. I just ordered a couple more, so I have more tips. All right, I think I need to know. And this cord, I forget what it's called, but it's like it just doesn't have any memory, so it won't stay. I kind of like that. If it gets crumpled up in your bag. So I love it, and they're sharp. I'd always felt like they were too. Actually, those are pretty sharp. They're not as sharp as a Haya Sharp, but they're pretty sharp. They're sharper than my Addies. I haven't used the Haya, but this is my new favorite sock needle. So I think that's why I wanted to cast on another one yesterday because I have another needle. Yeah. And I just enjoy it so much more. I might have to try those. I also have a new pair of needles to talk about, but I have to reach way down there to get because I had so much other stuff. Okay. So why don't we do this? Do you have more that you're showing right now of knitting? No, that's all my knitting. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to reset because we've got a bunch of other stuff that has to shift down the table towards us. And then we'll come back and talk about some more knitting.
Okay.
How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll be
Okay.
back. So we're back, and now we've got more stuff to talk about. A little bit more knitting stuff. So in my crafty afty bag, so this is my friend Brent from, I forget the name of his town.
Oh. I love that bag.
Prince George. Prince George.
Prince George.
It's British Columbia. I've never been there. I've been in British Columbia. I haven't been there. But he made me this bag actually because my briefcase, I wanted one that was narrow. I wanted a bag that was narrow so I could plunk it in my briefcase. And you see it's quite narrow. It's perfect for socks.
I love this.
Yeah,
Little
he's got,
detail.
it's actually a little,
Is it leather?
it's leather. It's
Yeah.
leather and it's sewn on. It's actually quite nice. And it's really lined with like a nice sort of chambray, little bandana detail. It's lovely. I like it.
I love it.
But in it, and that's the tube they come in, are the new needles that I purchased.
Dying to try these.
So these were the hottest thing before Christmas, are these Flexiflips.
And they're not in stock anywhere.
They're hard to find. They're
Yeah.
really, really hard to find. But they're also called something else. They're Flexiflips here in Canada, I think. Flexi Sticks, they're also called. I've seen them. Anyway, they are these that are kind of like DPNs, but they have a little flexible, like, what is that, 1.5 to 2 inch cord in the middle. And one end is a turbo and one is a sock rocket. So you can sort of pick your poison. They're meant for, they come in bigger, different sizes, so you don't have to just do socks on them, but they're meant for small circumference, like socks. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about them yet. I'm not gonna lie.
Jury's out.
Jury's out. I haven't been using them a lot because I've been trying to get Sebastian's sweater done, then I was doing the pillow, and I've been really monogamous when I've been on a project. I've just been like powering through on them.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that more because I don't normally.
I don't
and
either.
Nothing ever gets finished.
No, I have like knitting ADD.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But this one I was like, I knew Sebastian really wanted the sweater. I bought the yarn at Rhinebeck this year, and it was like, well, it's $300 Canadian worth of yarn sitting there. I gotta do it. So anyway, got it done. So I'm not so sure how I feel about it yet. I am not a DPN knitter. I started socks on DPNs and then went to Magic Loop really quickly because I found them fiddly. I dropped the needle. I dropped stitches, so I went to it. So this is supposed to be kind of the best of both worlds. So when you're knitting, it's flexible enough that you can kind of operate like Magic Loop, but you have only 2 needles that are holding all your stitches, and then you just use the third needle to actually knit with.
So I guess the difference is you don't have to do that pulling of your cord.
There's no pulling. It's kind of like, I would say it's actually more similar to if you've ever done, when people do like the 2 9-inch needles,
Yes.
where you knit
Yeah.
sort of across itself, and then you just turn it and knit that side.
Yeah.
It's more like that, I feel, but I've never used that technique. I know Indy from Andre Sue Knits does that technique quite a bit when she does socks, but I've never tried it. So this is kind of like that. So I should probably show, maybe, if you've seen these, I'm sure, a billion times, and it's got this, just a little flexible piece. Ooh, that could have been dangerous.
So what is it that you're not sure about? Is it just getting it
It's
in your
getting
hands?
used to it in the hands, because when you're knitting with it, you still have the crossing of the needles at the top, but it's, it's because you're not, it's just weird. It's a different hand motion. It's a different perspective on it. It is pretty quick, I think, but because I'm still on the ribbing, I'm doing a 3x1 rib because I've decided that will be my new go-to. It's a 3x1 for socks. It's faster, it's easier, frankly, and I kind of like the way it shows off the colors. Oh, I should probably say
the yarn.
Sock Monkey. This one is from Yarn Enabler. She sent me, I'd ordered Sock Monkey because I wanted to do a pair for Sebastian for Christmas, which he's actually taken with him on his last trip, so I couldn't bring them here to show you. But if you've seen them, they're on my Instagram. Everything I'm saying today is probably on my Instagram.
Yeah.
But she sent me such a mega skein of it. There was
remember.
enough. Yeah. So there was enough for 2 pairs
2 pairs of socks.
of socks. Yeah.
Done already in this?
No.
Oh.
No. No.
So you've done
I've
one?
done the 1 pair for Sebastian. This is the start of the second for me. And I did not put in the other color, but she did send me the matching red for heels and cuffs and toes. But I liked the cuff actually in the same colorway. So
Yeah. I'm starting to do that now too. I like the contrast heel and toe.
yeah,
And then
you know
keep
what?
the cuff.
When you start doing Fish Lips Kiss, it's even easier because then it doesn't break your stripes. when you're doing
right.
The heels, because you get a block. So I usually go and I knit the leg till where I'm happy with it. I stop when a stripe is about to change. Then I do the heel, and then I do the rest. Because then you get your next stripe around the top of the foot, ends up perfectly in sequence.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Amanda. Love that one.
I actually have that yarn back here somewhere.
Oh, do you really?
I do. I love it. I wanted to make a hat for Jamie, like a socket hat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
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 That would be awesome. I love that. I love doing sockhead hats. I've done 2 this year.
I have.
Oh, I should have brought my other one.
should've.
I did that one as well over the holidays.
You need a part 2.
Well, guess what? We are doing a part 2.
Part 2 of all your knitting.
That's right. So just one last one that I'm going to show. So this is another one of my Make 9, which is the Bairn Blanket by Julie Hoover for BT Kids. Can you tell I'm a big Julie Hoover fan?
I can.
She's totally my aesthetic.
I love her.
She's so good. And I'm telling you, her patterns are written so well. Now, I know it's Brooklyn Tweed for a lot of times, and she does more stuff, but her patterns are so good. This one, I'm not going to lie, is a bit of a doozy. This is going to be an epic one. So, this pattern, if you've not ever seen it, I don't have a picture. Can we insert a picture here, do you think?
Sure.
We'll put a picture in here. There's not a lot going on here yet, and you can't really see it, and I'll bring it closer. But it is a blanket, which is meant for kids. It comes in the pattern in 3 different sizes. So there's like a little like crib blanket, and you can do like a baby blanket, and then there's, I think, this is the largest size. But for Christmas, I ended up with like almost 14 skeins of arbor, which the pattern is not written for arbor. It's shelter or loft. But I thought,
It's a blanket.
it's a blanket. It's not going to matter. I just picked a needle size that I thought would work well with it, and I'm actually pretty happy with it.
It looks like really nice tension.
It's pretty nice tension. I like it. So let me pull that in real quick. It's getting a little bit...
Oh.
The lighting's a little bit strange, but that's okay. I just want to show the texture anyway. So all it is basically is a whole bunch of cabling and a whole bunch of twisted stitches. There are no rest rows whatsoever in this.
There's no rest
There's
here.
no rest here. I can usually do about 4 rows before I have to take a break because mentally it's exhausting. I love it, but it's an opus. This is not like the sweater that you finish in 9 days. This is going to take me 9 months to do. And the reason being, and I'm only showing this because, you're not going to see anything. There's not 2 charts. There's 3 charts for the body and multiple repeats of the chart throughout. And on the way back, you are still twisting stitches.
Oh, wow.
There's hardly any rest in this. No rest for the wicked. But it's amazing. It's going to be lovely. I'm going to love it when it's done. So I don't know. This is a labor of love, this one.
Yeah.
This one is for me. I'm not going to lie. No one's getting this. This one's for me. And I love the color.
Be.
Exactly. So this one is the Sashiko color, I should say.
Kind of like a turquoise, but
it's
really
it's meant to
subtle.
be like, like the Sashiko embroidery fabric.
Yes.
That's what this is supposed to be based on. So it's got a bit... Yeah, it's got a bit of a turquoise to it.
Yeah, like
really.
a
Nice
deep,
little
deep
fluff there.
teal.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was only appropriate that I have my Japanese crane progress keeper on
Origami?
it. My origami crane. I thought it's the colorway. It's not so much the blanket, it's the colorway,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. So you can see that is one night's knitting.
I'm tired just looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And-
fun though.
And
It's fun.
how do you put that in, like on a chart holder, or do you put tape on it? Because
Yeah.
I could see messing up.
I've done it a
What
number
row I'm
of
on?
different ways. So what I typically do is I make notes on the pattern itself and I circle the last row that I've done, or I put a legend for myself. Next row to be work is circled.
Yeah.
So I keep track of where I'm at on it. Although I will say it's relatively straightforward to track because you've got basically every 4th row, you've got another cable. So if you can count cables, which I know is tricky for a lot of people, I actually have a hard time counting them sometimes, but you can kind of tell where you are in it. And at the end of the day, you just do this till you run out of yarn. So, you can kind of figure it out, but I've tried different ways of tracking charts. I've used them on my iPad. I put them in like a plastic sleeve and use transparent tape
That's
over
what
it,
I do.
highlighting tape. That's usually what I do. But then I can't remember if the tape is under the row that I'm working or if it's on top. Like,
Oh, mine's always under.
I'm kind of an idiot that way. So I overthink it.
You need a
obviously.
rule.
Clearly I overthink it. So anyway, so that's my last current work in progress. But now I've got 2 of my Make 9 are done already, and it's only January.
It's February.
Oh, right.
But
I've
1
only just
month,
finished.
that's
You're right.
really
Yes.
good.
Yeah, that's
really
not
good.
bad.
2
right?
in 1 month.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and not get another couple. This one is on my Make 9, but this is going to take me to the end of the year. But I've got a couple of other works in progress that I need to finish. I have a sweater that I've been working on. I have 2 sweaters, actually, that the other one that's all cabled. The wonderful Michelle Wong, the Radmere cardigan, that's going to take some time.
Yeah.
That's going to
I
take
think
some time.
sometimes you just need a break from your whips. I think that's
Yeah.
why I had a break in January, because I have a lot of stuff that I actually want to get back to,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that exciting.
Oh, God, doesn't that suck?
And I'm starting to get excited about them again.
Yes.
So even
Good.
the Second Avenue shawl, I think I just needed a break.
Sometimes we just do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Last year, I took a big break from knitting.
Yeah.
Where I did not knit for almost 2 months. Just cold turkey.
Straight?
2 months straight, not a
Wow.
stitch. Not a stitch. I think I finished the Halo shawl, and then I didn't knit for 2 months. And then I went to Kitchener-Waterloo, and then that kind of kick-started me again into it. And then, of course, we went to Rhinebeck, and then it was like, okay, now we're back into full force. So, yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah, so we're good. So that's it for knitting.
Yeah, we do have a couple of our favorite knitting things.
We do indeed. Do
I
you want
have
to start
one,
with that?
or 2 maybe.
Okay, perfect.
So I have been loving this little pouch that I got.
That's cute.
It's made by Jezebel, and I will put her name up on the screen. We'll know
Great.
her name. And I purchased it through the Espace Tricot store. And what I really love about it is not only how it looks, but that when you open it, you can just sit it, and it just sits open.
That's really cool.
So you can just be, wherever you are,
Yeah.
open it, and you can see all of your tools, which I love.
Yeah, you don't have to like rummage through anything.
Yeah,
it's really open.
It's pretty good. And then it closes up really nice and kind of tight. So it's kind of compact. It kind of fits into any bag.
I like that a lot.
And I just love this fabric. It's really simple but beautiful.
What would you call that? Is it like a slub?
It looks
sort
like a
of?
slub linen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And I love that sort of train ticking
Yeah.
inside lining. That's really nice.
Really cute. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's one
I
of my
love it.
favorite things. I've been, as much as I love pattern and color,
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason I started those denim bags is because I just kind of wanted a break from it. And
Mm-hmm. Yep.
this too, brings me to my next.
Yes,
I'm really
sure.
loving these beautiful, simple prints and simple colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this for Christmas, and you've probably all seen it. It's the Buku tote.
Oh, I didn't know it had ties.
It does, so you can,
Oh, that's really nice.
you could use it as a purse. It's beautiful, but right now I've got some yarn in here for a sweater that's on my Make 9.
Ah.
And it's the sweater that you very sweetly gifted. It's the Hamilton, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to
It's an awesome pattern.
It's gorgeous. I think this was what sort of in January when I was trying to get back in the swing of
Oh,
knitting,
no.
and I pulled it out, and it was a little intimidating to get started.
Oh no, I threw you off your knitting scheme.
Well, I think I was just so excited, and I wanted the sweater now. Like that
Right.
moment, I wanted to cast on, and I wanted,
Yeah.
And I've been talking to Ramona about it because she's knitting it, and hers is beautiful, and she's,
Yeah, that's Ramona Firehorse on Instagram.
Totally figuring it
One
all
of our knitting
out.
besties. Yep.
So she is going to proceed, and then we're going to keep consulting. So
Yes.
I'm going to do this eventually. I think I'm just taking a little bit of a breather, and I've found this gorgeous Quince & Co. yarn. that
We
I'm
love
going to make
everything
it in.
Quince, don't we?
I love
Can we
it.
see that one? I want to see.
This is Owl.
Oh, this is Owl. So this is their blend, right?
They're wool alpaca.
Wool alpaca?
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
50-50.
that's really nice. It doesn't feel super alpaca-y.
No.
Because
it's
I'm not an alpaca fan. I don't like alpaca. It's too warm for me. I
Yeah.
sweat like a pig in
But it's
alpaca. No, I mean, I love it, but it's like,
That's not pretty.
no, trust me, hashtag unpretty.
Nobody wants that.
No, but like it can be minus 30 Celsius outside and I'd be in it, I'd still be sweating in it.
Yeah,
It's too
I
warm.
actually don't wear a lot of sweaters because
Love
I
it.
get warm too.
That's really nice. You know what I love about that
this.
most? The color.
And
And the sort of variation
Yeah.
where they took the dice differently.
yeah,
that's really
it's
nice.
beautiful and
Well
neutral.
done, Quince.
So that is on my Make 9. it
Love
would be
it.
there. But this bag,
That's
I am
lovely.
loving this bag. And I love just leaving it like around the house. Like on the couch.
It's kind of like your porter bin,
It is. It
right?
is.
Like,
yeah.
that's what I've been doing lately is I've been having my porter bin next to me on the floor on the couch in sort of my knitting spot.
Yeah.
And rather than, just leaving my knitting stuff everywhere around the house because the house is so small, I can't. Not like even our last place was all that big, but I didn't have room for it. So now I sort of store everything in there.
Yeah.
And that way it's more portable. Not that I, again, have rooms to take it to. We have 2 rooms. Feel sorry for
temporary.
me. Yeah, it's temporary.
It's
It's
temporary.
temporary. We're almost
Yeah.
there. But I could totally see that, especially having the little handles. That's like a total knit night bag.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Or like if I'm going to soccer in spring, right? And I don't want to pack my
that's
normal
right.
bag.
Yeah.
I can just throw my wallet in here too, or my keys, and
Yeah.
take my knitting,
Yeah, for sure.
and
I
it
love
looks
it.
stylish.
It looks super stylish. And you know what? It's really that trend of this sort of African mud cloth is so super hot.
Yeah.
Like it's really nice. It's super natural.
This pattern, I think, is
Supernatural,
called.
not supernatural.
This particular print or pattern is called Pepita.
Oh, I love that.
So it's kind of like
That's really
pepita
cute.
seeds.
Yeah, we love pepitas. Well, there you go, guys. That's all of our knitting stuff, I think.
Do you have some favorite knitting tools?
Oh shoot, yes I do. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. So this is an oldie but a goodie, and where you've got your bag that opens up into almost like a valet tray. Reminds me it's like a knitting valet tray.
Yeah.
That one, right?
It is.
I really like that. If anyone has one, like for guys, we don't have one that we travel with very often. We have one at home, but we don't take it with us traveling. But that's like the flat piece of leather that you just snap the corners together and you can put like your wallet in your glass and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But this one is from Twig and Horn, and it is just my notions bag. It's like a pencil case, but I put all my notions in it. So I have a wonderful gift.
Aw.
This is from Sandy's son James, who made it for me. Is Princess Leia on his little loom. So she lives in there as well. I've got a notebook from Jill Draper that I picked up. Oh, look at
Oh
that.
my goodness.
I know, it's all little sheeps and stuff on it.
Oh wow.
Sheeps being the plural of sheep.
Can I show that?
Yes, of course you can. It's really cute. It's
Yeah.
I bought that at my first Vogue Knitting when she was still showing there. But this is where I store all of my like multiple tape measures. Oh, By the Lakeside card. But I also have these great set of, I think there's a third one there is, new Twig and Horn cable needles that they announced right after, I think it was right after Christmas. And I was like, oh, I'm too enabled. I'm buying them. So I ordered them.
Well, you need them for this blanket.
Well, I need them for the blanket, exactly. And they come in 3 different sizes. Now, the largest one is quite large. So if you're doing like a chunky one, there's not a lot of cable needles that come good, solid, big ones that aren't super heavy. But there's 3 sizes, so I use the smallest one, obviously, because that's sort of more the DK size of Arbor. But what's really cool about these is they've got that, it almost looks like a toothpick design. If you've ever seen like a Japanese toothpick in a Japanese restaurant, have you seen them where they sort of do engraving around the ends?
No.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. They look like little short versions of these guys. Just, I guess, for some grip. But that's what it does. It gives you grip on the yarn so it doesn't slide off, but it moves really cleanly off it. So if you're a fast cabler, if you're a super fast cabler, you're probably not using a cable needle at all.
Yeah.
But I find personally that most yarns are, when I'm cabling, they just fall off. The stitches disappear, and I don't want to be bothered trying to pick them up and reknit it. So
No.
I'm always a big fan of cable needles. But I've got pens and my
Muji
other
scissors?
notions.
I've
Yeah.
seen Muji scissors. I think I have those somewhere too.
So yeah, I've been buying these and putting them in swap packages and
I
stuff
have them too.
for twins for years because they're
love
inexpensive. They're super sharp. They
I
come
like
with a
that
guard.
the cover. Yeah, the guard is great.
Yeah, and you know what? I get a ton of questions about traveling and taking your knitting because I
Airplanes.
travel so much on planes. I have never once had any agent in any airport around the world question these. I've had them look at them and go, oh yeah, those are fine. Because usually as long as the blades are shorter than 2.5 inches, you're fine.
And they're not super sharp. Like the tips are not.
That's right.
really
They're very
pointy.
blunt. They're safety scissors. They're not going to hurt you at all.
Yeah.
Now, contrast that with, these are the Gingers,
Oh.
which, okay, Michael's sells gingers.
Yeah.
Michael's always has a 50% off coupon.
They do.
50% off, because these were normally like $25 Canadian. I got them like $12.
Yeah.
And I saw someone I was at a knit night with had them. I thought, oh, those are really nice. But they are super sharp and the ends are super pointy. Like that will cut you.
Yeah.
You could hurt somebody with those. They're short, but you have to be careful, which is why they come with this nice little leather sleeve.
Yeah, and I would
not travel with these.
No.
These are the non-traveling ones, but these were, I think, what are these, like $2.99 Canadian,
yeah.
$1.99, something like that. They're totally inexpensive, but they're
Yeah.
great. And the guard actually stays on. It's pretty on there. So yeah, so those are some of my favorite things. I do have one other one, which is a new Christmas acquisition, which I will just bring that over, which is the matching interchangeable needle case from Twig and Horn. It matches. It's the same felt. Now, I'm going to be careful opening this because the needles do have a tendency to just slide right out and shoot out everywhere. So it's got this great leather wrap around with a snap. So it's very oldie worldy in a lot of ways. It unfolds. And then I'm just going to put this down because I just want to make sure I'm opening it the right way. I am.
Oh, and it's because your needles are metal.
It's because my needles are metal.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you about that because you have all like wooden needles. We're going to talk about that.
I don't. I have both.
Well, the needles that I've seen, except for the ones you've shown today, are all wood, except for your sock needles.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoy wood more.
Do you really?
I do.
Yeah.
I have Addies, and I like
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
but I think my preference is wood.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like wood as much because I find I'm slower. I find I'm much faster with the metal needle, and I like to knit fast.
I would like to knit faster, but I sometimes find things slip with
They
the
do.
metal, and I
They're
could lose a
really
stitch, and
slippy.
I'm
Yeah.
not very good at picking things up if it gets too crazy. So
I hear you.
I feel like the metals are more dangerous.
Well, we'll have to have
Things
a little.
could happen.
Well, you know what? If you want to know more about what we think about needles versus metal versus wood, let us know. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that in another episode. Anyway, so all of your needles. The only thing is, I wish they had labeled sort of sizes. They didn't. So I mean, there's a plus and a minus to that. The plus is you can use it for whatever you want. The minus is you're kind of guessing, because on this side I have a set of high interchangeables, the short guys. These are the smaller sizes. So it goes from like, I think I want to say like a US 2 up to like a US 8. But they're the short sizes, which in retrospect, I kind of wish I hadn't bought the shorts. I bought them in the shorts because when you put these on with this 16-inch cord, they actually are perfect for hats.
Right.
Whereas if you bought the long ones, they're a little too long for hats. But I love the high system for interchangeables. But when they go inside, they disappear. So it's a little bit harder to find them, and I don't want to mess up the canvas. So, but I also have a knit pick set, and they fit in just fine. I also have a set of Addy clicks. But for the life of me, when I packed the house, I have no idea where they are.
Oh,
I know
they'll turn up.
They'll turn up. They will turn. I think they're in my storage locker, but I'm not entirely sure. So that's the bottom part. The top part has a big zipper, and there's 3 sections, and the zipper holds in. This is where you put all of your cords. I'm not going to pull them all out because they'll go flying out everywhere. There's cords everywhere. Can you see that, guys?
Yeah.
So there's cords. And then you store everything inside there, and away you go. Like,
It's beautiful.
I love it because it does get so compact. It gets super, super compact because you just fold it in half. You fold it. Now I also have this is from Loop London. Isn't it cute, the beehive little thing? Because that way I can read them on there, but sometimes it's dark, it's at night. I can read the wood better, where the markings all are. But theirs are all in metric only. There's no US sizing here. So that's the only thing which is fine because we're Canadians. We should know metric, but a lot of patterns are written imperial. So
I like the materials the most. I
that's,
think the zipper and the leather and the felt.
Yeah, they all work really well.
Yeah.
Now, they do come in different colors. Like your fringe bag, we both have one of these lighter grays, but you also have the darker charcoal one. This also comes in a charcoal felt. It also comes, I think, in some oilcloth colors, stuff like that. So they've got quite the range. They're not cheap. which is why I didn't buy it and I asked for it for Christmas. But it's a special splurge, right? Sometimes you do have to splurge on things. So these two things together are some of my favorite things for knitting. It just kind of makes knitting that much more enjoyable.
I know, we've been talking about our love of good tools.
Yeah.
And it's
Lots
a thing.
of tools.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Like having, not everything, but having things that are a little bit nicer really makes the whole process really enjoyable.
It does, because it's all tactile. Like when you're doing stuff with your hands, you want things that feel nice, but you also want things that look nice, right? That's the whole purpose we do this. So I think one of the purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I think that's all of our knitting stuff now, right?
I think so.
Okay, we didn't forget anything else.
No.
So what we're going to do is, this has been part 1 of our 2-part, I guess, today's episode.
Yeah.
So this one you will have found on the Sticks Plus Twine channel. Part 2 you will find on Sandy's channel, which is called By
The Lakeside.
There we go.
The Lakeside. So yeah, we'll continue with a little bit more there. And if you
There's a lot more to come, though. We've got a lot more to talk about still.
Yes, we do.
But it's all good and fun stuff.
It's all good. We'll have to like stop ourselves at a certain point because we could just go on and on.
Well, dinner time's not for a couple hours, right? Okay, so thanks for joining us on my channel here at Sticks Plus Twine, and jump on over to By the Lakeside to Sandy's channel for part 2.
Bye.